matches. These are going to be at 70 meters. As we said, obviously you can see the target face size is much larger due to the distance. And I would say from the two styles, recurve is a much more challenging style. Obviously, no cams, no cables. What I always say is you're just working with a stick and a string.
You're working with, and it takes a lot more, I feel like, muscle control and awareness of where your muscles are moving.
Yep.
And just it's a different art. It's a different game.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm always very impressed watching the recurve shoot, just because I know how difficult it really is, how much time and effort they put in. Not to take that away from anyone shooting compound. Obviously, that's very difficult too, but it is easier to get good faster with a compound than it is a recurve.
Yep, you do have a little bit more assistance there. Release. I mean, it's called a release aid for a reason.
Yes.
But these girls that we got coming up here in the gold medal match, Casey Kaufhold and Mackenzie Brown will be shooting for the gold medal. And again, another example of good friends and good sports.
Yeah. And
inside
a lot of experience too. I feel like if you want to go solely off experience, I would say Mac is probably the more experienced archer so far in a finals venue, but that's only because Casey just came out swinging, came in hot, and has climbed from, here to the top so quickly.
Yep, absolutely.
I've seen her do some pretty miraculous things, not just in a finals venue, but just on all sorts of fields and different things. And so I think it's going to be a really good match between these girls.
And both of these girls put in the time.
Yeah, they do.
They put in the time and they put in the effort, and they truly do have a passion for the sport.
Yeah, they love what they're doing. And I think that makes a world of difference too. So this is actually a rematch from Arizona Cup.
Yes.
They did have a pretty epic showdown there at Arizona Cup where Casey walked away with the win. So you would definitely think, like, okay, this is the rematch. Mac's going to want to come back here. Casey's going to try to fight for that title because she knows it's going to be a fight anytime she's shooting against Mac.
And it looks like Mackenzie is going to be shooting first on target 1.
So this is a 20-second alternating clock. So each archer is going to have 20 seconds to shoot their arrows, and each end is going to be 3 arrows. So Mac's going to start us off right here.
Good.
Whoa,
10 to start
10.
off with at 70 meters.
Wow.
The wind did die a little bit, but it's still there. They gotta play with it a little bit. And Casey looks like she answers with a 10.
Yeah, I think that's a 10 too.
But we'll have to see once they get down there and score.
And
it might be a 10 as well. A little bit at 1 o'clock. It's gonna be a little bit harder.
Okay. Oh, that's
a good 10.
I saw that one. All right, 10 from Casey. Gosh, they're shooting so fast.
They are shooting a little bit fast. We got to keep up with it.
We can't even, there's no talking in between. We're just going to call arrows. That might be another
good 10, I think. Yeah, this might be a hot match here.
You can definitely tell the speed is different from before.
Oh, and then that one's a 7, I believe, out left.
So let's talk about set points, because that is something that makes recurve matches very interesting. So basically what it means is that
instead of a cumulative score,
yes,
you have to win the end.
Yes. So they're competing for the 3 arrows, and then the winner each end of total cumulative points that end will get 2 set points.
Yes.
If they tie, they each get 1 set point.
Correct.
If you lose the set, you get nothing. So they're competing to hit 6 set points.
The first person to hit 6 set points wins the match. If they do end up kind of fighting back and forth, they can end up 5-5 in a shoot-off. Otherwise, if one of the opponents wins every end or has more points every end, it can be over in 3 ends.
So
it can be over
we
in
could
9
see
arrows.
this go 5 if they tie in one end, but if not, if someone wins, like you said, wins 3 straight, they could be done in 3 ends. So that is different. Now, what's interesting about set points is it's not always the archer with the highest cumulative score that wins the match.
Right.
For example, Casey just had a 8-7, whatever that was, down there on her last arrow, but if she comes back and shoots a 30 and Mac shoots a 29, Casey would take the set, yet Mac would still be winning in cumulative points.
Yeah.
So that's just one thing to consider with set points. It's not always the person who scored the best overall
overall
that wins the match.
Yep.
More often than not, it is. But every once in a
Right.
while, you see one of those matches where something crazy happens and it doesn't work out like that.
And I think that's where maybe that some frustrations might come from that, just
I-
knowing,
yeah.
I scored better, but I still didn't win. So
what was that?
8-7
liner from Casey for her first arrow. What's interesting, she actually hit into the wind. Actually, no. Look at the two flags.
Yep. Yeah, they're
That's
definitely
crazy.
contradicting each other a little bit.
9 from Mac.
9.
So
Same
the flags,
direction though.
Yes. So clearly they got a little bit of right drift there, but one flags are like one side's going right to left, and the other side's left to right. 9. High 9 from Casey. If I was her, yeah, she's clicking her side a little bit. Solid decision. She's been a little bit tall. Still can't get over how fast they actually shoot.
Solid 10.
10.
It looks like.
Yep.
Casey's last arrow of the end.
Casey's got
and 7. So
7. Okay.
depending on
Left.
what Mac puts up on this end, she might take yet another set. Shot goes off, looks smooth, and that looks
She
good.
should have it. I think that's an 8. So 10, 9,
but it
8.
would still
She will still win the set.
still take the set.
So that will then put Mac up 4-0 on Casey. So what that means after this, going into the next set, if Mac wins the next set, she wins outright. If they tie, then Casey would basically have to tie and then win and win.
Yeah.
To then have a tie.
Exactly.
So it's just a very interesting scoring dynamic, I think, because you never want to start down. I feel like 2-0 is one thing, but when you're down 4-0,
Yep.
I mean, you have to
put a lot of
straight
work.
come back and kill it.
You got to do a lot of work to climb back, and not comparing the two, but in compound, okay, I've got 15 arrows.
Yeah, and every
to lose
arrow counts.
or win the match.
Yep.
Every arrow counts, but in set points, you don't know how many arrows you have.
Yeah, you don't know. And I don't want to say every arrow doesn't count, but sometimes you may have already lost that set before you've even shot your third arrow.
Right.
You don't even need to shoot your third arrow. You already know you've lost the points that match.
Yep.
Obviously, sportsmanship, you shoot it.
You should shoot it.
But
yes.
you don't have to. I mean, you already,
You're like, all right,
that
I'm not
end's
coming
already
back.
decided.
And then at that point, you're using it maybe to
gauge learn where
wind
to
or,
aim. Yeah, make a strong shot.
Make a strong shot. Do something different so that you can feel, where your back is moving or what's going on.
Yeah, whatever you need to do. So
Casey will lead off in this set.
So because Casey's down, she will start. And again, that will put some pressure on Mac on that final arrow.
Nice,
that was a good start.
To start off with, absolutely. And
looks
like she's planning on putting the pressure on.
Yeah, no joke. What was that? 9 from Mackenzie. So good. All right, Casey's up again. Wind picked up a little bit. Oh, good 10. All right.
Yep.
So she wants it. She's fighting for it. Okay, now Mac's definitely getting hit with a little bit more wind. Oh,
that was a good,
wow, I'm impressed.
Good shot.
Yeah, another 10. So cool. They're doing pretty awesome.
If Casey hits a 10 here.
Oh, that was not as clean of a shot.
8-9 liner. So depending on what they call that.
And depending on Mackenzie's last arrow.
Which is a 10 stuffed right next to her other one. So
wow.
That liner that we can't exactly see might be what determines the match, actually.
Yeah.